The big day is the big day. The day when game happens. We tell her. What happened? If in the location, it's put in the possible events. Then requirement 0 is not false. We're gonna go through it. We're going to... What do I need to do? I'm gonna need to separate it by space. I'm gonna break it up. We're gonna want this to be a dictionary. Can you have repeat keys? That'd be kind of stupid. What possible happening in possible events? Essentially for event in possible events. Just do that then. It'll be a little clearer. Arbitrary requirement. Requirement. With stuff. That's more cohesive. It's just more cohesive this way. Funny. Okay, so I've got the requirements. Most of the time, this will be none. Should be, right? Did you finish the event? No, I did. I didn't do anything off camera. What? And it's not too much left. I need to. I'm not a liar. I said I would in the future start doing stuff off stream. We need those requirements. All right. Got the requirements. We need to break requirements, which is a list. Yes, requirements is a list. Well, thank you. Well, if you need me for like consultation or whatever, I'll be available. So yes. If requirements 0 equals false, we're just gonna let that continue then. Because there's no requirements. Who cares? Who cares? Not us, that's for sure. No, I want to break string up. Not text strings. Requirement 0 does not equal false. String.split, okay. We want to do a for loop. Alright, yes. Requirement. In requirements. So now we're dealing with that. Dealing with each requirement. We're going to evaluate every requirement. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it on spaces, and we're going to make it dictionaries. Well, you have to make it artistic. If you do it artistically, it's fine. I don't care. If you give it substance and not just gore, it's fine. I need to do requirement. No, this needs to be a variable. Var doodad. Var rule equals requirement dot requirement dot split. Yes, split. And we're splitting on spaces. Because we're going to have to do the same thing, basically, again, when we're doing the buttons. And we're making them. Because we're producing the button. We have to basically make the button from scratch. Nice. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It has to make some sense. Stop being a stereotype, please. I beg of you. It's making me look bad. Make something good. Like, it's not a terrible idea, really. It's not a terrible idea. But this is not a choice that you actively choose. So it doesn't make any sense. I get the reference, but it doesn't make any sense here. Then also, you probably couldn't afford that in the canon. You probably couldn't afford that. So I just don't think that it fits. I like the idea. I like the idea of it, but I don't think it would fit. I really do. I really do like the idea, but it doesn't fit. Sorry. Just apply that. Apply that. Apply that mindset to something else. And it'll be great. It'll be great. You're on the right track. You're definitely on the right track. Something outside in the world, you know? Because that's like the point is that the world killed you. That's kind of the point. That's the idea. It's like in her mind. She's dead though. It's like you're trying to depict hell. And if you're going to go with that, we're going to need different ones for different reputations. You know? It won't work as a generic. That doesn't change that it won't work as a generic. Because you could be the best person possible. You could be the best person possible. But you're still going to get this same scene. You know? As it currently stands, of course. We could do different ones if you want, but that's another two pieces. Say it's good, and I do think you should make it like outside of the game. It sounds like a good piece, but for the game, I don't think it would quite fit. Not even because of the atmosphere of it or anything like that. But it doesn't seem to fit this gameplay wise, or it's like you could die. You could die completely poor, or you could die extremely rich. And it still doesn't make any sense because you're dying in a specific place. You're dying from an event, and the events can be anywhere. I guess it could work. I guess it could work, but we kind of have to do the heavy lifting. We have to do the heavy lifting. A player shouldn't have to do the heavy lifting mentally. Okay, I will continue implementing. The rule equals requirements dot split. If rule 0 equals no, then we should go backward because we'll decide what it's dealing with. We'll decide what it's dealing with about the player. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. We'll decide what it's dealing with and then decide that. Okay. If rule -1 that should be like no. That should be there should be three things. Yeah, there should be three and not only two. Hmm. Like one of the things we use down here is has weapon, no weapon. That should not be that way. That should be inventory, no weapon. I'm getting requirements. Every event can have requirements. I am working on implementing the requirements. That's what I'm doing right now. Well, they're already in the event, so we're taking the event file, the mudtrap.json, and I am making it so that the code can actually handle it. So technically, I guess yes. I guess that's true. Yes. They will technically be in the code after this. Inventory. Okay, so we're breaking it into three. Okay. We'll also implement the audio recordings? Probably not. Actually, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Believe it or not, the audio doesn't really count. The audio can be handled in like one line. It's not really a thing that we need to worry about because we just play it and then we just wait for it to finish. It's not that difficult. It's not really a thing. But right now, we don't even have the places where it would go. Changing this again. If row 0 equals inventory. Do this. If rule 0 equals inventory, then what will we do? That will be other stuff. Print inventory. If rule 0 equals skill. Yes, perfect. If skill, print, or this will be skill check. This one will be inventory check. This will be check skill and not skill check. Check skill, check inventory. And this one will be a rule. 0 equals. History. Int. Check history. We also can do a wallet check. What else could you think of that we would want to check as a requirement for an event? Are you still here? Wallet. Print. Check wallet. We can check what's in the inventory, what's in the player's inventory. We can check the player's skills. We can check the player's history. We can check the wallet. What else do we need to check? Well, yeah, because we don't have to implement the other ones, is the idea. We won't have to implement the others. We'll only have to have done the one, and we can just write the next ones, and they'll just automatically be implemented. That's kind of why it's taken so long. It's for the better system, the more versatile system, that will make it incredibly easy to add new stuff. Like, incredibly easy. Like, you could do it, and I'm gonna make you do it. So, because we only have 2, really, right now. Because if you don't help me, it's gonna get delayed. It's gonna get delayed. It's that bad. If rule 0 equals inventory. We're gonna make this like this. Var usable. That should be over here after that's done. We can't delay it any further. Well, then you'll have to help. What are you talking about? Yes, but why is that relevant now? Requirements do not equal false. Yeah, that needs to be up here. Is event usable? Requirement does not equal false, then it is usable. Or if it equals false, it is usable. Period. What's the problem? Because also, probably next I'm going to do the inventory. That's probably what I'm going to do next. Just so you know. Actually, inventory kind of just needs to be a big list. It's not really that big of a deal. Luck, that'll be easier than it seems. Where is event usable? Yeah, we'll just do that. If requirements equals false, then, or if it does not equal false in that position, then it is true. Or then this needs to be true because there are no additional requirements. So it kind of just stays there. Yeah, we don't really do anything then. That's the case. This will be a rejection-based system, not a. Well, what is it? It'll be deductive, not inductive. Yeah, that's what it is. I did not know that. But it would be pretty funny. Event is event usable equals true. That's what it is. Because then we will set it to false if we need to. Check inventory. Then we need to know if it is not or has, or no or has. It's a cool name for an airport, yes. I want to do elif. You see, I know you haven't said anything yet. Because I have deep lips, okay? Yeah, I see what you mean. I know. I've thought about it. I have thought about it. Requirement 0 equals false. Nothing to do. Because my lips go out. I actually have lips. Some people really don't have lips. It's kind of crazy. The real thing, actually. Pretty sure. Okay, so checking inventory. Fascinating. Those will be item classes. So we're going to check all the items. We're going to check all the items to make sure they have that tag. We're going to check all the items in the inventory. Then we will decide. And then if we find one or don't find one, we'll know. Make sense? Or item in inventory. Water pie? That's not real. That is not American. In player inventory. Multiplayer. Dude, I haven't even considered multiplayer as a possibility. I don't think that's real. That sounds like something that you just make up if you're not American about Americans. I don't know if America has ever been this poor. The Great Depression. That's why it doesn't matter. I don't think it is anymore, actually. Experience a revival during the 2020s. It doesn't sound real at all. This sounds like fiction. It originated in the late 1800s. They invented it, and then it wasn't even popular until America was poor enough to need it. Interesting. Hmm. From the Great Depression, still includes vanilla extract as an ingredient. Crazy world. Interesting. The poorest American depression is still wealthy enough to have pie. That is basically what happened. The poorest America has ever been. People can still afford pie. That one doesn't look so good, actually. What the hell, man? I don't know why you can't see it. I don't know why it's been breaking. What the hell, man? I don't know what the fuck is up with my browser. I really don't. You know what it is. You've seen it before. You've probably seen it more than me, apparently. For item in player. Said the word broski. Maybe ironically. But literally, I don't think so. Maybe once or twice. This is when you find out that I did it last stream, actually. For item in inventory, in player, in if item in inventory dot I might want to I might want to rework items into JSON too. The way they are right now is like this. Well, it shouldn't be too hard. There's not really a whole lot of data here. There's not really a whole lot of data here. I could probably do it in one JSON file rather than breaking it into multiple. That's probably what. When you tell me what they all are, for all 80 of them, then I'll do it. I don't remember all the items. Well, you should. We'll go one by one tomorrow. Okay. Well, I'll save that for later then. I'll save this for later. Item in inventory, because it will end up looking like item in inventory. Because it's going to, those are going to be dictionaries. This will be attributes. Categories. That's what it would be. Not attributes. The categories to which it belongs. And item value, when you buy it and sell it, should be different. No, we're working on a base value system. We're working on base value. We can handle that in the code. We can handle that in the code. Well, actually, I guess we kind of do then. Well, no, not really. Not really. Because, like, the game is selling things for more than you got them for. That's the whole game. That's the game. If item in inventory category or item in inventory for item in inventory categories if rule categories. Well, we could check for items and we could check for individual items and we can check for categories. Well, then in that case, I'm gonna need to do a little bit more. No, no, this is fine. This is fine, actually. I don't remember. That's the acceptable price range. We're finally coming back around to stuff that we did forever ago, which is both good and bad. Let's go over here. Inventory, no weapon. Inventory has weapon. Has no category weapon. Yes, no category, because then we can there. And this will be inventory. We're checking the inventory. No. We're checking if it we'll check if it is or isn't and which one we want. Then we will check then we will get the category that we are checking on, or the attribute that we're checking of the weapon, of the item. This will be like this. And then we are checking if that matches, right? Yeah. Okay, this is easy. Nice spell category. Category. Here's category weapon. Inventory, no category weapon. Because we're checking all of the things in your inventory. What's that? Oh, that's from requirement satisfied. Yeah. Skill history wallet. Or item in inventory category. If item in inventory category. categorize a certain way. If that, we're checking the category. We're checking multiple things. We're checking the name because we can break this all into different things. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break this into just on. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna go to the bathroom though. Hmm. Could it be? Is it where I live again? Again? You are in Fed? No, I'm not. Is he the guy that DMing you or something? The guy who is literally a Fed? Also, I don't do anything. Feds usually do stuff. Or try to goad you into doing stuff. From this comment section? No? What are you talking about? Is this about President's Gaming? Is this about President's Gaming? Because that's just for photoshops of President's Gaming. That's not a very Fed thing to make. Especially considering how many presidents have just flat out said the N-word. A lot. Gotta get that number. Create a new text file. I'm not actually. You know that's a real organization, right? You actually have to sign up and everything. You're not just part of it, you know? I don't know. He's busy. JSOM. Items.jsom.text. Yeah, they're still around. They exist still. Well, it's an American institution. It's an American institution. That is not the same. That is not the same at all. Okay, so Okay, so this one will be easy. We just make him a dictionary. It's going to be harder than I thought. And this will be the item name. Interesting. The item ID. I'm not really a huge fan of their leader. He's kind of cringe. Okay, he's too normal. It doesn't seem right. Okay, so we got the first one. I am gonna have to rework some stuff though for this because this is gonna devolve again. Is it? I think it is. Don't make me separate you. Thing. Would be a dagger. Is? Why is this being weird? Why doesn't it have the funny colors? Why doesn't it have the colors? Make it have colors. Make it have colors. I don't really know how to separate you. Well, that's encouraging, but no. If you want to fight, you can fight. More engagement for me. You're Canadian, you brick. He hit him with the leaf accusations. It's over. Not really making the argument you think you're making. Why doesn't it have colors? Where are the funny colors? I want the colors back. This isn't society. This is a text editor. You want the colors. They're both fascists. Moral fascists. Safe edgy, safe edgy, safe edgy. Everyone laugh at him. Then why does it do it over there? Why does it do it up here? Why does it do it here then? I don't get it. It does not provide syntax highlighting for JSON files because they're not treated as built-in resource. They literally are? Freaking leaves. Am I right or am I right? And bucket. It doesn't seem like it. This is a list. What if I try and reload? It it knows, but what the hell? It's just not giving me the colors, and I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Markdown, config file, GD script, plain text, standard. Nice. Weapon sharp. Remember one of them was fluidic. Oh yeah, fluidic and edible. I don't think it matters which one. Fluidic was first. No, edible was first. I have them jumbled up, but then we have wood utility. Use organic, edible. What did we say? It was. Oh yeah, it was unique. Oh no, it was magical. That's what it was. It was magical, or if it was magical, that's what it was about. Oh, edible. And then it's uh file file name. Because this way we can also have as many categories as we want. Res. No, we're not doing that. We'll do it elsewhere. Do it during loading. And look at it is. Do I not have dagger 1? I only have dagger 2. He said there's only dagger 2. What the hell? Fine. Sure, whatever. or item in inventory category in item in inventory. Well, there's nothing going on. In player inventory, if item in inventory, which is a dictionary now, if item in or item in if category if item in contains cat. Then for buttons, we'll basically just do the same thing. But if it works, if it gets through, if it gets put through, then we just the button becomes visible. If tool 3 in item in inventory That's rule 3. No. Two. Want 2? That's the category. Is yeah, we want 3. Weapon. Three, which bring weapon in item in category. 2. That should be yes, that's better. Yes. And the rest are easy because we're just checking them basically. And normally there's no steps. There's no steps there. Rules here. Okay. Have or have not. We need another for this thing. No. Because then that's true. Or the dagger. If the dagger is in your inventory, that would be true. Yes, we're going to use an we don't really need to do an else. We don't really need to. But it will be easier to read. If it is, this needs to be and. That resolves to true. It is. Rule 1. Equals equals. No. If rule 3 is in the category, and rule 1 is no. If the item if the item or the items, if the item has the category, Rule 3. If if the item or the item in the player inventory, if the item in the inventory has the category that specifies category, rule 3, and rule 1 is no, requirement satisfied equals false. Get it? Get it while I've got it. I can't believe it spirals out of control so fast. Else requirement satisfied. And we basically do nothing then. We basically do nothing because true is the default. And I'll just say player item dictionary, customer dictionary. Yeah. These are specific, so I should say player event history. And then player inventory. Is also a list. It's a list of dictionaries. Should have resolved it. Okay, yes. If that doesn't equal that, if that's not no and it happens, then we pass. If this doesn't happen, we just don't set it to false. Is that the only condition where we would want that to be that way? Item has it. And if it has it and we don't want it, we set it to false. If it doesn't have it and we do want it, yes, so I need another. If we have it and we do want it, we do nothing. If it doesn't have it and we do want it, yes. Yeah? Getting ready. I'm getting ready to move to the next step. That's good. That should fix that all. No. We need to check the skills. And we'll do something similar there. What does she... I think I've got it. If history has... well, we will. It doesn't... They don't exist yet. But they're about to. They're about to exist right now. They're about to happen right now. Yeah. Let me go up here. Our player rep. We're dealing with the player attributes right now. Player rep equals... What's the default? What's the default? It should be in the middle, right? And if it's in the middle, where's the middle? Is the middle 0 or is the middle like 50 or something? This is important. This is important. Once you tell me, it will be implemented. Did the default? Yes. Should the default player reputation be 0 and it can go in the negatives? Or should it just be 50? $50? Okay. Boom. Player reputation is implemented now. Done. It doesn't do anything, but it's there. Check as well. We're doing a lot today. That is in the game. That is in the game. That directly affects the player. Because we could also have it so that it starts a little bit low. You see? You see? It directly affects the player. Directly. elif roll 0. Equals rep. I'm working off of mud trap because it's more complicated. It's easier to implement because it's more complicated. It has more options that I can deal with, and that is easier in this case. It's also already been made into a JSON. The other one has not yet. The other two have not. Checking wallet. Checking reputation. That's not how it works. Stop. Because the technical answer is yes. Because the event file is getting used. So technically, yes. In real life, It will probably never actually be in the code, so to speak. Rule 7, rule 0 equals skill. If rule 0 equals skill, well, no, it's written in the event file. It's written in the event file. That's how we know. Which actually I think we do get. Yeah, we do actually already get it. It's fine. I did that yesterday. Checking skill. Skill. We'll say that no means that it's lower. Right. And these will also be able to stack, so you can have multiple requirements. You can have multiple requirements for something in the events to show up. The small box near the text box will have, right, the name of the character when they introduce themselves. If they do, and if they do, we're not really set up for that. We're not really set up for that. We can do something like that, but it's going to be more work. We can do that, but we would also then have to write. It would probably also be best to rewrite all of the characters as JSON files as well. Rather than like the obvious, they just don't know. Do I have that? I don't even know if I have that. Probably you should probably send it to me again because I don't remember if I saved that or not. I don't remember that being a thing. We got the button background. We got that. We got that. Placeholder. Text background. No, I don't have any of that. Hmm. Oh, that's for the buttons. That's just for the buttons. Yes. They'll remember. Have a little faith in them. A little. Okay, so this will be checking skill. Player skill. Player skills will be a dictionary as well. Well, really, I guess it can be a list. I guess it can be a list. What about the dyslexic players? I don't know. I don't know, man. Uh-uh. Dude, this file is okay. Print checking skill. Uh, we're gonna use less than, greater than, and equal to. We'll use less than, greater than, and equal to. It's gonna be. It's gonna need to be. Gonna need to be. Because we got skill. Uh, greater than number. No, it's good. Yeah, it's just gonna. What am I talking about? I guess we could do less than, greater than. I guess we could do. Um. Yeah, less than or equal to or greater than. I don't know, but we can, I suppose. I don't know what skills are gonna look. I don't know what the numbers are gonna look. What is bro murmuring about? What are skills actually gonna look like? Are they gonna have a max? I assume. Like, what would the max be then? Would that be like 5? Or would it be like 300? How are we doing a skill point? No. Max is 100. Well, then how do we give out skill points? Max is 5. Okay. Or like 3 or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It could be anything. It can be anything, but if we go with more, we have to add variation when we give them out. So, we're thinking about, we doing experience or are we just giving skill points? My throat is dying. 5. I think we could do it. Well, what is each skill gonna do? Player skills. Oh yeah, because well, that's good, but what does that mean? How do you get better at lying in this game? What classifies as better? What does being better do? You gotta think very literally. Gotta think very literally in the code. All right. already. We really don't have a thing for this. And for telling the truth too. Yeah. So we want more of a charisma stat than that, than anything else. Player skills. Rule 2. Well, we could just say that for a fair price, you don't get any experience at all. You only actually get XP based on, or skill points based on uh, getting them to pay a lot or a little. We could just make them separate. We could just make them separate so that they're always uh, like good charisma, bad charisma. You do it like that. So when you're being honest, people have a higher chance of believing you, and when you're lying, people have a higher chance of believing you. I think that that could work, actually. Let's do that. Player skills 2. Sure. If player skills rule 2. I need to do rule 1. No, rule 2. Yeah. If rule 3, because that will be the one where we decide what we're doing. If it equals greater than, less than, to, blah, 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 blah. Press less than or equal to or less than or equal. If rule 3 equals. If That look great. Looks great so far. I mean rule 1, and this will be 2, this will be 1. And this one will be rule 3. Do nothing. It looks like a house right now. It kind of does. As rule 2 is actually the third, and rule 1 is actually the second, and rule 3 is actually the second. No, rule 3 is actually the fourth. Yeah. Player skills rule 1. That's getting the rule 3. Do nothing. Not equal. But we don't need to do anything. Anything happens. That doesn't make any sense. Requirement satisfied equals true. Else equals false. If not, yeah, okay. Then we do equals false. Perfect. And then I need to do this like 8 different times for the 8 different variations of this one thing. Rule 2 is not. Yeah, because if it's not, we set it to false. Most of these are never going to get you. Are they? Greater than, less than. And we want is greater. Greater than, less than. Perfect. I'll decide whether or not we can use something based on a check. We're kind of doing the same thing with the wall, but we only have one number to check. Var player wallet. Do we have a starting amount in mind? Or do I just say 0? I'll just say 0 for now. Because why would we care if you have an exact amount? Well, we might care if you have an exact. I'll do it. But I don't need an extra one. Because it's the number we need. It's the number we need. I'm gonna do something similar. Pretty easy. Because I can just take all of it. Oop. Oop. Rather than kill. Rule 3, we're going rule 2. And over here, rule 1. Because the player's wallet will always be one number. Easy peasy. Same with reputation, actually. This player wallet. Perfect. Then we're basically doing the exact same thing, but for reputation. Like word for word, the exact same. We're just changing what aspect of the player we're targeting. Player rep. Taking a lot longer than I thought it would, but I've been doing it like non. Awesome. We're now very, very close to 500 or 400 lines of code in this one file. I want to do history. We're checking history. We're checking. We're gonna want to check if how it ended will matter. We want to check if it is in the history, and then because first it'll only happen for some, that we need to make sure ended a specific. That should be easy. History has then the event name, specific event get from the file as well. That'll be 3 slots. Environment itself. Event will not be spaces, but that's fine. We can modify that. Working on is. Copy paste. Vitamin in. What am I checking exactly? What do I want to call their event? A massive block. I'll check if it has it. But I'll not check anything else. Make it a dictionary. Player history entries should be dictionary. Does player history need to be a dictionary too? No. If you know its keys, it's gonna have to be a dictionary too. This is gonna have to be a dictionary too. Ugh, that's so bad. Based on it first key value pair. No, I think I'm just gonna cut off like I'm gonna fix this up and I'm gonna head out. It's mostly done. This is the hard part. This is the part I was kind of dreading. So, requirements are they are full. Move from possible events if it is false. Because then we pick one, and then we have one, and then we just translate that in, you know, because we've got it picked. Possible events. Dot remove. Possible end. Possible event. Is that good? Does that work? Can I do that? Yeah. Okay. Good. Did not. If it fails any of these checks, if it fails, but if the events fail, if the player fails, get it. It is removed from the. If in player history one, no. If it is in and we want no, don't do it. If we don't want it, or if it's not there and we do want it, do nothing. Okay. Good. Player history. It needs to be the player history needs to be a dictionary. Period. That's fine because they keep their structure, like they keep their order, so it's fine. It's fine if that's. I don't want to data use. Now we can do. If it is, we can ask for a specific outcome. If if it is if it's no as a if do that. I'm gonna have to do it that way. Rule will be the one that we look for. Rule will be the outcome. What did you got? What is it? Is this a good and real surprise, or is this a bad or fake surprise? Don't want history. Three has doesn't be there. Be different. This will be a different one. It will be if both. We'll need to check. Question? Oh, well, that's fine. Check elif this if it is there and we do want it. Cool. That should be two. If we do want it, and rule 3 exists, if we have it and we want it, and rule 3 exists, we're checking the next rule. I don't remember. And len rule equals 4. We'll be able to pick the outcome. I read the rest of the message. Ah. I don't remember. We didn't talk about it at all. So if you've got an idea, just say you've got an idea and you want to have that as a thing. Yeah, but that's not a question. Don't phrase it as a question. What about it? Can they have a convo between themselves? Yes, we can do that. We can manage that. We'll have we have to will we have to do that? No. No, we won't have to. Because pick we can just pick between the two of them to display at random. And then have the text name. Yeah, you should think about that. And len rule equals if player history rule 2 like this. Ending. equals rule 3. Or does not equal. Essentially, if there's an extra condition, make sure that it is what it's supposed to be. And if it is not, requirement satisfied equals. There we go. Yes, I'm talking. But I got it figured out. So now we can select. We select the event based on the conditions of the event. That only took 2 hours and 45 minutes. But this system can't break. This is a very robust system. Very robust. The inexperienced. There's no other way to do this, brother. There's no better way to do this. This is the best possible way this could be done. That's it. Nothing else can be said about it. Okay. Then we do because we're down to 400 lines. We've got over 400 lines of code for this one file. That's probably bad, actually. Now, it's a lot of branching. I think it's fine. File size does not equate to inexperience, actually. It's like thickness of a tree. You actually want it to be bigger? You actually want it to be bigger? Thank you. Okay, so then if requirement satisfied equals false, false, remove him. Remove him from possible event. Then selected event equals. We need to pick random. I don't remember how to do that. I don't know why I keep forgetting how to do this. I do this like all the time now. But whatever. It is its own function, which you can call on whatever the frick you want. Possible events. Dot. Pick random. And then we return the selected event. This line is now done. This line is now complete. Well, it's not really how it works. That's not really how it works. That's not really how it works because this whole function this whole function would just replace it, but it's easier to read. Okay. Then we have our event. We did it. We did it. Gaming. Well, we still can't do that yet. We have to get the information from the chosen event now. That's what programming is all about, brother. We already get the character. So that's good. Big W. Some stuff is already done. To my immense foresight. Locations are checked. Requirements are checked. Right? Get checked. Now we will make the buttons. Nice. Now we can do the buttons. We can do the funny buttons. Actually, this might not take very long. What we're doing is, for the first key, which will always be the opening. The first key will always be the opening of the event. We're going to get the buttons list. Easy enough, right? Get this one. We need our buttons list. Equals selected event keys, blah, 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 buttons. Boom, now we're getting the buttons. Yeah. Then we do 4 buttons, 4 button in buttons. Is a list of dictionaries, which we're going to go through. And we're going to do something similar with requirements. We get there. I might make that like select requirement or handle requirements. No, we're just gonna have to go through it again. That's probably terrible, but I don't know what to do about it. So then 4 button. Or event button. Well, not really, no. Because it's literally exactly the same requirements. It's literally the exact same requirements. I could change that. Or possible event in possible events. Do it with buttons, or needed buttons instead. In that case, I should make that a separate function, which I should probably actually do. That's probably what I should do. I'll do that, but I'll do that probably tomorrow. We're not gonna get all the way up there. We're already at the 3-hour mark. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. For event underscore button in buttons list. No, it's not. I mean, sure, it's early if you're talking about freaking evening, but it is not afternoon anymore. Or event button in buttons. Event button. No, button text. Var button text. Because we're going to make the buttons using the nodes. Button text, var button requirements. Because then we can decide whether or not we need to do the thing. Var gives, var takes, because those will be items from the item list. Or I guess that's how we can handle giving event points as well. Or not event points, as well. Easy peasy. Gives, takes, next. Var okay. Next equals event button. Because the event button is a dictionary. Takes. Takes. Gives. Requirements. Button text. Text. Boom. Means. Also a list. Further dictionaries, by the way. But that will only matter when we will have to manage that. Because that will decide not construct a button. Yeah. Me too. But we're pretty close now. We're getting there. We're getting there. We may be closer than we think. We may be closer than we think. We just don't know yet. It's like boom there. Every button will be given these attributes from the file. Well, every button works? Well, not yet. Not yet. But they'll be given the attributes they need. They'll be given the attributes they need to work. Uh, we need a buttons list. Take this event character. Boom, there. Our event character. Our event buttons. Because we're going to need to append this list. What is a button? How do you spell button? Oh. For event buttons. That's selected event. This is the raw. This is the raw variant. Possible event character. And this will be the clean version, which are actually what they're supposed to be. Event character. Yeah, we're good. Good. Or event button. That should be event buttons for consistency. Okay, I think I'm done for today. I'm I'm blanking on stuff that I should know. I'm spent. How big is this thing though? Up 390? 287 to 390. If we remove spaces, it's 290 to 390. I did 100 lines today. I think that's pretty good. It's about about 100 lines. That's good for me. I can't go any further. My brain is mush. I don't know if we have certain things that I'll need. Tomorrow, I'm finishing it for sure. 100%. 100% certain. Events will be done. 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 But nothing else stands in the way. Nothing else stands in the way, as far as I can tell. All I did today was write. Writing took longer than I thought it would. Writing took longer than I thought it would. That's it. Yeah, I'll do the buttons and everything. Well, events will basically be done then. That's it. I can't go any further. I'm done. What would be next? What do I put next after this? I don't even know. If you could tell me whether or not we're going to need a variable determining where we're at in events, if you could tell me that right now, I'll keep going because I don't know. The dialogue is implemented right now, actually, literally. Actually, wait. I can go because it's after the buttons, right? That's after the buttons in the thing. Yes, it's after the buttons, and then use tags. Okay. Let me see. Var event text. We'll have to get that at some point, but not yet. We don't need that yet. That's something you can just slap on at the end. Event text equals. Boom, text is in the game. All the event text is in the game now. Gives. Takes. That's it. Done. Text is in the game now. You were expecting that to be a lot longer, huh? I don't think you know what I'm really doing, do you? Do you have an answer to my question? Will I or won't I need a variable to determine where we're at in the event? Will I or won't I? Can you answer that question? Can you answer that question? Yeah, you will. How do you know? How do you know? I have no idea what I'm seeing on screen. Oh my. Then how do you know? Uh, no, I actually don't think I will. I actually don't think I will. Because each button is going to call a function, and that function is going to be called new event scene. Yeah. Or event button pressed. And it will then evaluate the button for all of its goodies. All of its juicy data. Okay. This is going to be... No, this is going to need to be a function that I put in the button. Right? No. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to have to do it tomorrow. Because otherwise I will spend another 8 hours here. I might work on it later. I don't know. This is the big thing. This is the hurdle, and it's not that big of a hurdle. I just don't know what it is, and I'm tired. I did stuff outside today, and I'm tired. But then, essentially, done. Then I can go on and move to calling everything a huge hurdle. Well, I've never made a game before. I don't know what I don't know what a big hurdle looks like, really. I still don't know what it looks like, really. I'm still not sure. But then I think I'm going to work on the inventory and some visual stuff for the inventory. If you want the inventory to look a certain way, you're going to have to tell me before I do that. Tomorrow or the next day or whenever. Then I'm going to need to implement. Then I'm going to need to implement the skills. I'm going to need to implement the skills. Because right now they just don't exist. We're probably going to need a skill screen, but that's kind of just going to be a reskin of the options menu. In a way. So, I don't know. We're not that far off. We're not that far from done, actually. Maybe. I don't know. Unless something comes up. Nice. So I guess we're really not that far from done. We still don't have travel implemented yet, so I'll have to do that as well. I kind of want to do some other gameplay stuff before that happens, so that we can evaluate what travel's place will be in gameplay. So, we're getting pretty close, man. We're getting pretty close. Even if it doesn't feel like it or seem like it. Because the timeline is arbitrary. The timeline that we have is arbitrary. So you can't really use like, oh, well, we're going to release on this date. You can't really use that as the how close we are to being done. But before I go, what's my before I go problem? We could probably do something like that. I don't know what that'll look like. Get that out. Goodbye. You stay safe. Go to bed. Have a nice sleep. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm free. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my freedom, but I'll do something. Bye bye. If you enjoyed, thanks for watching. Come back tomorrow.